Okay, so we have the merit to be sitting in the Shtiebel, the Family Minyan Sukkah. We were worried for a second there wouldn't be a table, and everything we need is always here. Thanks again to Daniel Sass and all the Hagbah here in the community. It's a beautiful end of summer, August, September. We're already now in October. We're already in the fall. We're in a time where the new Shefer is coming of Sukkot. Haggah Asif, there's a lot of drawing together everything that was the last few months of learning that we've been doing, and also all the preparations from Elul all the way through to Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. And now we are in Sukkot, we are mamish in the Sukkah, and we're experiencing the oiris, the light of Chizzuk from Chassidus. We have right here an Ilya Nishmas for our good friend Meir Shimon ben Gavriel, or ben Avigal. We also have the merit to be learning some more Likutei Moharan in the merit of Rabbi Nachman's Halula, which will be tomorrow night on Netzach, the fourth day of the Ushpizin, which is Moshiach. Today is Yitzchak. We have Boruch Yitzchak, a special guest. And we also have the Ushpizin, the Yitzchak Avinu, and also we're preparing for what's going to be hopefully a very blessed year of Tafshin Pei Vav. It's already coming down at this time. Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur is the Chesima, but the Kvittel goes out Hoshana Rabba. So this whole time period is now a way for us to get together as a nation, and to experience the light that's available in the Sukkah, in the family, in the friends, the Family Minyan, literally. And so we've been learning about the concept in Torah 38 of Likutei Moharan, and we're in the 9th section, and we went into a whole Gemara of Rabbi Yossi, very deep. These Gemaras need Rabbi Nachman's Perish, because without it, it's Haggadah to Gemara. And if you go all the way back to the beginning of where it introduces the statement, right at the beginning of 9, just after we spoke about Shabbos, and it's been taught. It's a Gemara in Chagiga. We said it's connected to the Slichas because it was a similar Gemara where the Slichas are brought down. V'zeh Tanya Rabbi Yossi Omer Oy Lahem Lebrius Roim Eini Yadim Mar Roim Haaretz Mena Ala Amdim, and then it goes ahead and ahead. So we are holding by Mayim Ala Harim, and the water on the mountains. We'll do a summary of what Rabbi Yossi said. All these different sayings he said. The water's now on the mountains. Zu Bechinas Torah. Sha'odein is Orach Chesed Avram. The idea of Torah and Mayim. This is Hag. This is Nidun Ala Mayim. Sukkot is a time where we're judged on the water. It's very important to know that. There's the idea of Nisach Hamayim. This is one of the advantages of doing in a Sukkah. You get the real sounds of life. The Nisach Hamayim is a special korban that's only brought in Sukkot, and we know the famous Rashi Tevis of the Psukim in the Kriya of the Sunday. No, it's not Sunday. Sorry, Tuesday. No, again. This year Sukkot fell out on Tuesday, but we read the Kriya of the second day was today. The second day, the 6th day of Sukkot, and the Shabbos, the last day of Sukkot, the Shvi, the Hoshana Rabba Sukkot. So that is the Rashi Tevis has there in the Psukim hinted an extra 3 letters. Mem, Yud Mem spells out Mayim. So this whole Indian of Sukkah and Nidan Ala Mayim is hinted to in the Psukim of the Torah Shabbat Peh, Torah Shabbat. It's alive. It's a very big thing, because Torah we know is Miramis is connected to Mayim. It flows all the way down to the lowest place. That's the idea of Torah. Torah is something no matter where you're at in life, you can learn. No matter what level you're at, it doesn't matter. You can just about do an Aleph. You do an Aleph. Like Baruch Yitzchak recently been doing a lot of learning of things that he didn't learn, and now he's starting to see, breaking through, starting to learn English good, and all these steps. And initially, it feels like every year begins. Kol Chalas Kash. You think, how am I going to do this new year? And then Hashem gives you the extra help to know that you can do this. So with the Mayim is the Bechinas of Torah. Sha'odein is Orach Chesed Avram. Mayim is Chesed, is kindness. Ki Harim Zu Torah. Harim in the mountains is Torah. Shu Maromim K'mo Shekosev B'Malachim Yamlichu. Gam Avram Nikra Ha. K'mo Shekosev V'Hara Hamalek. So the idea of mountains, we mentioned when we learned last time. We mentioned about the mountains. We mentioned about this. We really went into this. V'harim ala ruach, and the mountains on the wind. Each thing's on the next. Hainu Ruach Piv Shel Kodesh Baruch Hu. This is the Ruach Piv of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Hainu Bechinas Dibor. One of the concepts of this Torah you're going to see is about fixing up Dibor, how we speak. We know that the Daled Minim, we shake, Lulav and Esrog, we mentioned this, the Aravot is the lips. They look like lips. And the Hadassim are the eyes, and the Esrog is the heart, and the spine is the Lulav. And when you're shaking, Rabbi Biederman brings down, you're shaking the whole Ruach Nefesh of the Yid. The whole spirituality is waking up. And you're waking up, bringing down energy, every direction, bringing down new ashpaz, and you're internalizing it more and more into yourself each time you shake, the nanuim. And the lips is one of the most important ones, and that's why they're usually the hardest to keep kosher, because they dry up very quick. They can become very dry, and you probably need to replace them during the Chag, because the lips need constant work, constant attention. In his diba, aidei haTorah chesed. Zale diba kanal k'mashikos shifki ad boker. Lie down until the morning. This concept of lie down until the morning we've already had, and we discussed this. The idea of waking up the day, we've been learning in the Likutei Halachos, but the bechina is that there's a tremendous chutz of chesed, this divine chesed that comes down by learning Torah at night, and we've been talking about this right now. This is an earlier time, this is before Mincha, so we'll keep an eye on time as well. Right, we have another 10 minutes. Ruach ala Sarah. Now the wind that we mentioned, we already went through all the different things. Yeah, the pillars are standing on the pillar. The land is standing on the pillars, and on the water. The water's on the mountains, and the mountains are on the wind, and the wind is on the storms. Ruach ala Sarah. Hanish bechinas kates kol basar. What does this mean? The kates, the end of all flesh. We talk about this in Sefer Bereshis, in the beginning of Bereshis and Noach, the end of all basar. Personally, I've already finished learning Zosa Bracha. I did it before Sukkot, and I'm already now in the beginning of the first Aliyah of Bereshit, because it's a big Sefer, and I know next week my parents come, things are going to be busy, we might not be able to have a Shiur v'chulu, so I know that I have to prepare the Torah in advance. So when you get to Bereshit, you already see that there's this concept of Kates Kol Basar, because Hashem made this world, and what happened? We weren't really behaving ourselves, humanity. So he had to bring the flood, as we know, Parshas Noach, and begin a new world. And those generations weren't so great also. So you have to bring Avraham Avinu. And with Avraham Avinu, finally start to get it right. But until we get to Avraham Avinu, who we mentioned before, is connected to Chesed and Torah, until we get to that, and we mentioned about that last time, the Chesed of Avraham Avinu and Torah, until we get to that generation, we're still dealing with these generations of the Kates Kol Basar, an end to all the flesh. Who bechinas acher devarim, who yonek ma'adiba nasa ruach sarim. What is the generation that goes is the end of all the flesh? They bring a balagan, a storm wind, all these big storms. You see this noise, this tremendous noise before Moshiach comes. He says in the parish underneath that if we had chosen perfected speech over blemished speech, we'd get the aspect of tefillin and Shabbos, and we'd be connected to the tree of life. The delights of a spiritual existence are with pollution of the tree of knowledge, and the accusation, the test that mankind, humanity is facing in the struggle for existence. See that happening right now all around the world. The storm winds, who is man's great accuser, has paradoxically the capacity to become his great beneficiary as well. Mahadiba nasa ruach sara. We're going to see now the Sarah al Zruah Shal Kodesh Baruch Hu. Now this is. If you've been learning this Torah with us, you see that it connects into this whole journey of, fixing up speech and getting to a level where all the noise around you starts to actually become a way of getting closer to Hashem. And this is an important concept, the struggles and the challenges of all the noise and all the death that's in the world, God forbid, the Kates Kol Basar. This actually brings us closer to Hashem. The Sarah Shal Zruah Shal Kodesh Baruch Hu says it, and a storm on the arm of the Holy One. Because we know that humanity has an end to all flesh. We know there's a concept of, he says it in a nice way, but basically the end of flesh means death. Yeah? It was very good. Who's this very good? This in Bereshis, Mamish. Hine Talmud, right at the beginning, in the Midrash as well. The Malach HaMavis, the angel of death, Gevorot descends from the supernal Gevoros, these high levels of judgment and Gevorot and power, and that's where this angel comes from, the angel of death. Kihu tov ma'od. He is very good. Now you would say, why is he very good? So we know, why is he good? One of the concepts is, he helps us have bechira. Yeah, what the Chachamim teach us that he was tov ma'od. It gives us ability to recognize how much we need Hashem. Because there's this whole other reality that we don't want to be busy with. This world of judgment, this world of death. We want the world of good, the world of Hashem. So the tov ma'od is that it gives us this struggle with life and death, and the opposite of life. As well, the Lubavitcher Rebbe would never say the negative. We say the life and the opposite of life. That's how he'd say it. I've been reading books about him, beautiful svarim about the Rebbe, how he was so careful to only speak positive. That was an example of someone who worked on his speech. And this is him constantly choosing trach good, zayin good, think good, it will be good, think gula, will be gula, think a blessed year, will be a blessed year. Speak it into reality, do a spodada, speak it out. This is the struggle we face as a human being. And you see, you have a tendency towards not good. And that test is very good because it pushes you to really choose, to exert yourself, to choose the good again and again and overcome this reality of tov ma'od, of the other side of that there is an end to life, and that gives you a strength to push yourself to really live life. And he says kihu tov ma'od zeh sara b'zroa elu chamisha Gevorot. This is very Gevorot. This is very deep concept in Kabbalah, but basically just like there's 5 Elokenus in certain davenings and certain avodas. There's 5 menaspach, 5 endig letters in the Hebrew alphabet. You know, there's chaf, a lamed, a mem, and a nun. These are all sofit. Yeah, these are all end letters. These are connected to the 5 Gevorot, and menaspach it's called in Kabbalah. We mitakin those inyanim of the 5 Gevorot, very deep concepts. Shemisham chisa adzman bala mavis lenetzach. And from that, it takes its vitality until such time death is swallowed up forever, says the Novi in Yeshaya. This is a pasuk in Yeshaya. So that when Moshiach comes, what's going to happen? We won't have this test anymore of life or death. We won't have this free will, this need for free will, because Hashem's going to be so ever present, and people's speech is going to be so fixed. One of the concepts of Moshiach is Mesiach, from speech. Moshiach is a concept of Mesiach, from speech. How we speak is bringing Moshiach. Mesiach. This is the key to understand him. The awe of Mashiach comes through how we speak, how we serve Hashem with our mouth. That's one of the most important realizations of Hoshana Rabba. We take those lips again, the fallen Jews, supposedly, the Sukkah's David had Nefolis, and we take those Hoshanas and we bang them on the floor to hamtik the 5 Gevorot. It says that in the special tefillah. If you look at Hoshana Rabba, when you bang those 5 Aravos on the floor, is fixing up those 5 levels of Gevorot, and Hoshana Rabba really is this tremendous eitzah. You've got these trees around it, there's eitzim, the daf, the skach, the eitzah, the big advice comes down Hoshana Rabba, and then you enter into the realm of Simchas Torah, where you're just dancing with Hashem and everything's Gevaldik. Unlike 2 years ago, where it was not Gevaldik, we're in a state now where instead of death, we're in a place of life, of energy and life. And as someone said, it was Eli Michel, he said, Tashim Peivav is Rosh Hashanah Puravu. This is after the 2 terrible years we've gone through with terms of all these Kedoshim being killed. We then have the mitzvah of Puravu, bringing down new neshamas to replace those who were killed. They should be named after them, and they should have good life and happy life, and should in the merit of all those fallen soldiers and the heroes of Am Yisrael, they should live. And that's the tikkun. That swallows up mavis forever. Now, just to end off before mincha, we've got another 1 minute. Zeh perish makaves parachela. Marakeves parachela. Yeah? Wait, is this right? Yeah. So I'm just going to do a summary before we jump into this para, because that's the 10th section. Rabbi Yossi's teaching this translates in our lesson as follows. We're going to end off with Rabbi Yossi. Here we go. The para thing we'll do next time. He was pera. Yeah, he was the opposite of good speech. The land stands on pillars. To attain bina life, one needs prayer. And the pillars are on the water. This prayer must be outpouring of the heart that comes through what? And the water on the mountains. This is all of Rabbi Yossi. The Torah which reveals kindness, chesed. And the mountains on the wind, which such Torah authority elevates and rectifies speech so that one's words as merges. Strong tefillah, fervent prayer. which one attains is the aspect of tefillin and Shabbat, like we learned. And then the last point we just learned, the last 2 points, and the wind on the storm, this one rectifies one's speech, that is no longer nurtures storm winds, the klipos, the great accuser of mankind, and the storm of the arm of the Holy One. At that time, the storm wind, the klipos, is a vital element in God's creation. The root of all free will remain so until the days of Moshiach, may he come soon. The really free will was just about revealing how we struggled for you, Hashem. And we struggled to fix our speech and bring Moshiach, to bring the light of Moshiach. Should be blessed with beautiful Hoshana Rabba, a good kavittel, as they say, and all the hard work we've done, Elo and Tishrei, and building this beautiful shul should bring us only fruits of blessings. Amen v'amen.